unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
I know that I can, 'cause I know who I am. Since the day I was born, I am like stone. I know that I can, 'cause I know who I am. Since the day I was born, I am like stone.
Russia, Putin, Russia.
In the present political climate, the Democrat Party is pushing strongly for reparations to be paid to the black community. Well, if they honestly feel that way, then the question is, ladies and gentlemen, who should pay the reparations? In my video, I'm going to ask 4 separate questions to lead to an answer. If the Democrat Party wants reparations to be paid to the black community, should the Democrat Party lead by example and pay the reparations due to historical grievances that the Democrat Party has done to the black community? Now let's get started. Moving past the Civil War into the Great Depression of the early 20th century, the dark shadow of the Democrat Party loomed heavily over blacks in the Deep South. Fictional tales like To Kill a Mockingbird of black men being falsely accused of sexual assault and later losing their lives seem to be pulled out of the very truthful and painful ether in reality. Art imitating life, as 14-year-old Emmett Till was lynched for allegedly whistling at a white woman on August 28, 1955. A vibrant community of KKK Democrats celebrated this child's death because he forgot his place and stepped off the plantation. Dear Democrats, how much was his life worth? Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, is famous for saying things like this. The mass of ignorant Negroes still breed carelessly and disastrously, so that the increase among Negroes, even more than the increase among whites, is from that portion of the population least intelligent and fit and least able to rear children properly. Sanger wanted the extermination of blacks, and her dreams came true because Planned Parenthood is conveniently located mainly in poor black communities. Planned Parenthood has facilitated in the abortion of over 20 million black babies, equaling almost 50% of the total black population in America today. The senseless decimation of the most innocent among us is heartbreaking. I should know because my twins, Howard and Hank, were aborted in 1999 by an ex-girlfriend. As a father, I was powerless and had no rights to protect my children. The thought of knowing that my babies screamed in silence while being aborted has devastated me to no end. Dear Democrats, how much of the lives of dead babies worth. Speaking of fatherhood, it seems like loving dads have no place in the modern day black family. In the 1960s, the black family was highly regarded as the power source for African Americans. Children being raised in loving homes with their moms and dads gave emotional stability, amplified spirits, and a strong financial foundation to build wealth. This was seen as a major problem for Democrats. President Lyndon B. Johnson was terrified of blacks gaining political power and decided to take action and said this: "These Negroes, they're getting pretty uppity these days, and that's a problem for us. Now we've got to do something about this. We've got to give them a little something, just enough to quiet them down, but not enough to make a difference. I'll have those N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years." Johnson put his plan of a new great society for blacks in motion, where black fathers were removed from the households in order for black mothers to qualify for government assistance. The absence of the black father has sent the black community spiraling into crime-infested neighborhoods, generational poverty riddled with financial insecurity, self-hate, and no hope for the future. Congratulations, LBJ, for your success. You did it. Dear Democrats, how much is the destruction of the black family worth?
They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
You called out President Clinton for defending Secretary Clinton's use of the term super predator back in the 90s when she supported the crime bill. Why did you call him out?
Because it was a racist term and everybody knew it was a racist term.
No conscience.
It's a very well thought out crime bill that is both smart and tough.
No empathy.
Called black youth super predators in 1994. Please explain the record.
Because it was a racist term and everybody knew it was a racist term.
Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response?
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about re-entering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we
you,
need
Senator.
to do to not
Your
only
time is up.
decriminalize but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in. Your response.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you were in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.